Welcome to this week's team call. I am so excited because the new release of Hammer and Chisel is out. And we just ended November, and congratulations to Janine. She got 3 points for last month, which is awesome. And then I myself, I got 6 points for this last month. It was a rough month, but we did it. So you guys all pushed through, and I saw your posts, and you guys were killing it even in your workouts and just eating healthier to get by through Thanksgiving, which is awesome. So Hammer and Chisel just came out on the 1st, and if you haven't ordered or you're planning to order, I would do it, as soon as you can. I'm not sure. They were saying it was predicted to sell out the first day, but people have still been ordering, so I'm sure that they're making more copies every day to make sure that everything is in stock. But with the Hammer and Chisel, the challenge pack is on sale this month for $160. So they get all the DVDs, the containers, the 21-day fix containers for the meal plan. The meal plan itself, you have 3 different options, to choose from for the meal plan with how you eat for the containers. You have the option, do you want to lose weight and, trim up? Do you want to maintain your weight, or do you want to bulk up and gain muscle? So you get those 3 different options with the meal plan, and it'll tell you how many containers accordingly to meet those goals with the program. It is the 2 of the trainers combined, Sagi Kalev and then Autumn Calabrese. And I think it's going to be an awesome program. My tracking said I should receive mine by the 9th of this month, and I ordered on the 1st. So I'm really excited. I already have a couple people interested that I've been talking to that are looking to trim up, cut fat, and build some muscle. So with that being said, every challenge pack that is sold for this month with the Hammer and Chisel, the CEO, Carl Deichler, is actually donating $5 per challenge pack to Upward Bound for the organization to help kids that are in Upward Bound. So I think that's a really great option for people too, because why not give back to other, the Upward Bound and helping others in need during the holidays and this month. It's going to help give them a place to sleep every night, and the list goes on, clothes and food and necessities that they need. So I think that's really awesome that he's doing that, as a CEO, and being able to give back to other people that are in need. But if you do get the program, especially with being a coach, you get 25% off. So I believe normally it's like $89 something and about $90. So as a coach, you would get 25% off of that. And I believe with the shipping for me, it was about $71. But before shipping, like $68, I want to say, roughly about that. So that is awesome. And that is also going to make you active this month. If you're not currently taking Shakeology, it gives you enough volume points to be active as a coach. As another thing option that you can do to be active as a coach if you're not currently taking Shakeology. But other than that, Hammer and Chisel is out, and everyone's pumped, and groups are coming together. Jessica Bowser Nelson is having a group for Hammer and Chisel. And I believe you can invite anyone who's wanting to do Hammer and Chisel. It's not just for coaches, it's also for customers as well. And I don't know exactly when it starts, but I will post it when I find the date that they're actually starting. If you would like to be in that, I can add you to it. Even if you want to look at it as a coach to see what everyone else is doing and more about the program, I feel that it would be great for you to see how it affects everyone else, people going through it, what are the biggest concerns for it. I find that it's going to be, it's not a great starter program, and I know I've touched on this before. I wouldn't suggest someone to start with it, but if their heart is set on it, they can start with it, but just let them know that the weights and stuff that they can use for it, I would use, weights that aren't as heavy. I only have 5 and 10 pound weights, so I'm hoping that fits. I'm going to have to do more research before I start, or when I look at it when it comes in the mail, I'll let you know. But it's based on your fitness level. So if you're doing reps and 10 pounds is too heavy for you, then go lighter, until you can work yourself up to that. So you can always modify if you need to, and if someone's set on it, just let them know that they can modify it as they would need to for themselves as well. But it's going to be, I watched a call, the guys, especially if there's a guy that's wanting to do it, they said they would not recommend going above 45 pounds because you're going to be, although you're building muscle, you're going to be so tired by the end of your workout that you're not going to want to be lifting, over 50 pounds for each rep, because some of the workouts, it has a specific amount of reps that you need to do with weights. So you don't want to wear yourself out to the point you can't finish the workout. But you still want it to be challenging enough that you're going to get results as well, and it's not too easy for you. So that was that. Jamaica, that's the next thing. We are in the last month to qualify for Jamaica, and I am tied for first. So it's really exciting. Jamaica is in March. It starts on the 12th. You can still get on the waiting list. Just know that to get off of the waiting list, the way that you do that for the Success Club trip is by getting Success Club, by the amount of challenge packs that you have someone order from you, and by signing up coaches. That is how they get you off of the waiting list. So last time I got an email, I was in the 7,000s. So I will be lucky enough to get a free ticket to Jamaica, to take someone with me. But other than that, it's going to be awesome. Millionaire coaches, the trainers, you get to work out with the trainers on the cruise ship. How awesome is that to get to work out on a ship? I've never done that. So I think that's really awesome. And just the cruise in general, I've never been on a cruise. So I highly suggest getting on the wait list, even if you don't get off of it. At least, you're going to be on the wait list, so you have the option to get off of it if it comes to you. And not only that, that's the other thing, Summit in July, which is also in Nashville again this year. Their tickets have already sold out. So get on the wait list now. I got on the wait list probably 2 months before July of last year, or this year. It's not 2016 yet. But I got on the wait list about 2 months prior to July, and I was able to get off of the wait list. So it's not the same kind of wait list, like if you sell so many challenge packs, you get off of the wait list or whatever. It goes by the when you get on the wait list. So it goes in order from whoever gets on the wait list first, and then it'll go down the line. You do have to, if it does come to you, you do have to, there is a payment option. And it's I believe let's say, I'm not sure exactly how many months. I believe it has to be 4 months prior to do the payment wise. And it would be broken up into 4 payments. But if you are a new coach and you're within your first year, if you have a couple of ways to get there without having to pay as much. If you're a new coach, you get $100 off of your ticket for one. When you get your new coach booklet in your challenge pack, or, if you ordered Shakeology and you signed up as a coach, you would get that new coach booklet. And there should be a coupon code in the back of it that you could use to get $100 off of your Summit ticket. So that is awesome. You get $100 off, but you can earn a free ticket if you hit Success Club 5 in your first 3 months as a coach. So if you hit Success Club 5 in your first month, your second month, and then your third month, then you get a free ticket to Summit. and you don't have to pay anything except for, you know, your way to get there. Which is, you know, your, what is it called? Success starters. So, you know, if you hit that in 3 months, then you're considered a success starter because you've done that in your first 3 months. So I highly suggest it, even if you get on the wait list. I would love to see you guys there. I mean, some of you haven't even met in person yet. So I would love to get the chance to hang out with you in Nashville with a bunch of other coaches and, you know, just have a fun time going and experiencing Nashville, working out together, you know, shopping, you know, everything. It was awesome. I mean, we'll be tired, but it'll be fun, and we can get a hotel room together too. If you decide to go, I can get a hotel room that's reserved, and then we can split everything that way, and that'll make it much easier when we're there. So other than that, that is Nashville, and I'm excited for that as well. So the rest of this call, I really wanted to talk about, you know, ending this year again. I know I touched on it last week, but I wanted to touch on it again because we're already in December. So, and I feel like it's already flying by, at least for me. I've been, you know, pretty busy. My days are flying. And what you can, you know, planting those seeds now. So if you are talking to these people and you are, you know, inviting or forming with them and adding new people, you are planting those seeds essentially. They're going to watch what you're doing. So I highly suggest in the month of December, keep posting your shakes, keep posting when you work out, because come January, they're going to be like, I need to know what you're doing. You know, after Christmas, they're going to be like, I saw your posts about shakes. I saw you were still working out before Christmas and after, and they're going to want to know what you're doing. So if you're planting that seed and you're talking to people, you know, when they start thinking about their New Year's resolutions, they're going to know to come to you. They're going to be like, I need, you know, to reach this and this goal. You know, I need to lose X amount of pounds, or I need to, you know, learn to eat better, or I need to gain weight, you know. So they're going to know to come to you if you're already planting that seed with them. And come January, your business is going to explode, but it's only going to do that if you're planting seeds now and you're showing what you are doing prior to the new year, and building those relationships. So I know I've already started making a list for January. A lot of people I've talked to have said, you know, I can't right now because of Christmas, which is fine. You know, there's a lot of people that are like that. You know, everyone's getting ready for the holidays to travel and everything else, including myself. So start making a list of people that are all interested in January. So when the day after Christmas, so the 26th of December, start talking to them. Ask them, you know, when is a good time, you know, hey girl, I remember our last conversation that you wanted to get started in January. When is a good time for you to get started, you know, in January or whatever it may be. And if you've already talked to them about a program, when is a good time for you to get started in January with the 21-Day Fix? And then that way you can start making dates and writing dates down next to their name, or if they want to start coaching, or whatever it may be, get that information from them now. So then you're going to have a list to work off of come January, because it's going to be busy. So you're going to want that list, because then when January comes to, you're going to be like, oh, who said what? Who wanted to start in January? Who wanted to do this or that? And you're going to have a list that's going to tell you exactly what they wanted to start with, or what they are looking to achieve. You know, write down their goals, write down a date if you can get a date from them, what program, if you've already talked about a program. Other than that, invite them to, if they're interested in coaching and they can't start now and they have not been in the open house, invite them to the open house. The open house starts on Monday, and they're doing it a week earlier due to Christmas. They don't want to do it so close to Christmas because everyone's going to be traveling. So, geez, my phone is blowing out. So they're doing it a week earlier. Usually it's the second Monday of every month. They're going to do it the first Monday of the month. That way it gives people time before the holidays, and they can focus more on what the information that they're getting from the open house. And it would give them time to decide whether or not by the end of the month, if they want to start coaching, whether that's before or after Christmas. You know, people are going to get, you know, Christmas money and all this other stuff from Christmas. So that's why I say December 26th is when you want to start talking to them, because that's when it all sets in. They're like, oh, January is right around the corner and I want to achieve this goal, you know, whatever it may be. So they're already going to start thinking about it right after Christmas, after they see their family and friends. So I definitely recommend that. And who knows, if you do that on the 26th and you have that list to work from, if you have 3 people that say they want to get started right after Christmas before the 1st of January, you're already going to be in Success Club. And it's all because you've already planted those seeds before Christmas. So it can be done. And I've made Success Club 5 all in one day because I believed I could. And I was talking to people and following up with people that were interested. So you have to plant those seeds now. And I can't stress it enough, because I know myself, if I don't plant those seeds, then I'm like, I have no one lined up. You know what I mean? And I can't follow up with them because I never asked them or invited them. Or I haven't talked to them about their goals. So you have to start planning now, and that's the thing about this business. It is built on relationships. And typically, more than not, this is, you know, a kind of statistic that they kind of go by. But I have found that usually the first time you ask someone, you know, would you like to be a part of my group? Would you like to start talking about their goals? And then you go over a program with them and you ask them, would they like to get started with that today? More than half of the time, the first time you ask them, they say no. And it's okay. A lot of people say no the first time. But if you follow up with them, you know, every month or whenever, they say that, you know, I asked when a better time would be for them to get started if they're really interested in getting started. And if they don't give me a date, then I'll follow up a month after. But typically, sometimes more than average, or around average, I would say, it takes 4 or 5 exposures to actually get someone to say yes. And I know that seems like a lot, but that's typically what happens. I know there's people I've talked to every single month, and they're like, no, not right now. No, not right now. But you have to keep an account too. They have things going on in their life. They have, you know, family, and, you know, maybe they need to save up for a challenge pack to get started. And, you know, that's typical for people nowadays. You know, they are struggling to make ends meet themselves. So it takes a couple of times. I know I've talked to people and they're like, well, I'll have to get back to you because I would have to save up for it. And that's fine. You know, if they want to get started, they're going to make it work, and they're going to put in the effort so that they can start. And, you know, you have to believe, and that's the biggest thing I can tell you, is it is your mindset. I cannot tell you enough. You know, if you believe that what you are doing is helping others, and you believe that what you have to offer them to help them reach those goals is what they need and what's going to help them, then it is. You know, and they're going to know that by how you talk to them if you believe that. You know, if you're thinking in the back of your head that, you know, I don't believe in the product. And maybe you don't even really think that, but in the back of your head, you have your doubt about talking to them about the product because you're like, well, I don't think she's going to do it, or I don't think that this would be a good fit for her, or she's not going to be able to afford it. How do you know? Sometimes I've had people who said they couldn't afford it, but then a week after they get paid, you know, on their next paycheck, they're like, I'm ready to get started today. And it's because they just needed that time to think about it and, you know, figure their finances out. And that's okay. So you never know with people. I've had people, you know, like Rebecca, she started as a discount coach originally, and look at her now. She's on this call and she's working the business, running her own group, and she originally just wanted Shakeology on a discount. So you never know with people until you ask them. You just have to ask them. So with that being said, that's really a majority of this call. I'll ask, do you have any questions before I, okay. So I'm going to end the call and stop the recording, but we will meet here again next week, and I hope to see you guys here. Bye.